So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Gordana from the European Co-Packers Association. I'd like to introduce today's presenter, Scott Johnson from Nulogy. After receiving very positive feedback on Nulogy's presentation from ECPA's conference in May this year, I'm very pleased that Nulogy will be hosting our last webinar for this year. I'm even more pleased to announce that Nulogy will be opening an office in the UK and expand their business. Josephine, Coombe and Scott Johnson will be leading the team to open up this office, I think starting on the January 1st. Is this right, Scott and Josephine?
Yes, we'll actually be up and running by January the 6th.
Okay.
And Scott and I are both relocating in the next few weeks to get everything set up. We're very excited.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. And I think it's also one goal to better serve the EU-based co-pack suppliers, and that is really, really great news for us.
Definitely.
Yeah. You yourself, Josephine, you will be the managing director of this region, while Scott will be the director of customer solutions, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So before Scott will take over, I would like to point out that the presentation will take 30 minutes and that at the end of the session, you will have time to ask questions. And I will also record this webinar so that it will be available for all of you. So, Scott, if you're ready, please go ahead.
Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Gordana. It's actually Josephine here. I'm going to just make a few introductory comments and a bit of an overview of Nulogy before handing it over to Scott to do the solution overview. Just in terms of a little history on Nulogy, we've been around since 2002, and basically our whole history has been focused on helping contract packers serve their consumer products company customers effectively. We're now used in 5 continents, 12 countries, and 6 languages and counting, including Dutch, French, German, and English, of course. We're very much believers in partnership, and we're very appreciative, certainly, of our partnership with the ECPA, and it's been, a fantastic opportunity to connect with co-packers in Europe through this partnership. We also work closely with other similar associations around the world, including the BCMPA in the UK, the United Kingdom Warehousing Association, and then over in North America, the CPA and F4SS. We've been growing strong, and I think, a big part of that is that our very strong focus specifically on the co-packing world. We know this world very, very well, and we've been recognized for our experience there by a number of different award providers, including Gartner giving us the Cool Vendor Award in 2014. And just to sort of, position us a little more, we really are the only company globally that has a purpose-built solution specifically for contract packing. There's other solutions out there that people sometimes try to make work for co-pack, an ERP system or MESs and so forth. But really, Nulogy is the only platform that's been specifically built with co-packing as the focus. And our solution is very much field proven. We're used in hundreds of co-packing sites around the world. And we have a dedicated team of software developers here in Toronto who basically are, spending year in, year out working on nothing but improving the functionality for this industry. Similarly, our professional services team has clocked more than 70,000 hours just in the last 5 years alone on implementing our solution in different co-packers around the world. So, the upshot of that is that we really understand all the nuances. We understand the the different sort of variations on the theme of how co-packing production operations get done in different types of environment. And on that front, we've serviced customers ranging from, small co-packers all the way up to the co-packing operations within major 3PLs such as DHL and Kuehne + Nagel. So this is just a small sampling of our customer base. You can see that, we service some, European side co-packers and 3PLs, and we also work directly with the brands, including brands like L'Oreal and P&G. We're happy to provide reference customers, such as Marston Packaging. Would be happy to speak with any of the European co-packers who might want to learn more about how our solution has been leveraged to help their business. And, when you look more broadly at the supplier bases of the CPG, the fast-moving consumer goods brand, our software is basically within the supply chain of almost every major consumer brand you can imagine. So this is just a smattering of the various companies who, within their supplier base, the Nulogy platform is running operations for them. So I'm going to hand the floor over to Scott, who's going to walk you through kind of a high-level overview of the solution and how it can help.
Thanks, Josephine. Now, to service these customers, as we mentioned, we built a purpose-built solution for your co-packing needs, and this covers modules from quoting to scheduling, materials planning, inventory control, production management, and quality control. And this is specifically built to meet the needs of contract packagers, and this is around to keep the agility and flexibility that your customers expect. Now, if we look at our solution is cloud-based, and it is designed for each type of user that accesses the solution. So this could be the line lead on the production floor, the forklift driver accessing it through the mobile devices, looking at the quality team that's being able to capture digitalize records of any inspections that occur, or as well for any of the office staff to be able to access the solution anywhere at any point in time. And we've put a big focus in making a very intuitive, user-friendly design within our solutions, so that especially a lot of the shop floor users, they're able to quickly adopt and learn this solution. So we combine that with, we also have Nulogy University, which is specific course content for each customer for them to be able to onboard and train on these solutions for kind of the growing needs of numerous people needing access to it. Now, as we walk through this presentation, there's a few different areas that we impact and different business drivers that we touch on. So I'll be walking through some capabilities that touch on the following areas. So one of them is how it helps you improve inventory accuracy and lot traceability, capabilities that help you reduce direct labor costs and increase line productivity, other areas to help you scale and grow your business and improve your customer service, and as well as digitizing these quality inspections, and as well as capabilities around meeting certain compliance, or if you're dealing with regulated products, capabilities that are necessary to be able to meet those GMP requirements. Now, as we're starting looking at inventory accuracy and traceability, this touches on our end-to-end inventory control solution. So we have systematic checks in place from all points of inventory. So this is from receipts to moves to picking for production to bringing items and consuming into production throughout to reconciliation and shipments. And we've seen numerous of our customers have seen a large increase within their inventory accuracy. And one example is with a supplier for PepsiCo Frito-Lay having an improvement from 80% to above 98% in inventory accuracy. Now, if I walk through some specific examples, one is around picking. So this is when you're picking and allocating product for co-pack production.
So this is giving the ability to automatically and systematically reserve inventory, enforce certain pick strategies if you require the warehouse team to pick specific lock codes and expiry dates, digitalizing this process so that there's no paper in order to complete the pick process, so that those in forklift drivers can go on the queue of pick lists that are available and constantly pick to the production lines based on the ongoing priority. So it's really helped enable the speed and as well as the controls around that picking process. Another area is around inventory control. So as you're bringing items to the line through the picking process, this ensures that you're bringing the right items, the right lot codes. Now, as you're at each production line, we're capturing the consumption as it occurs. So as they're bringing components into the line leads are scanning these components and getting visibility to when that inventory is actually consumed, and as well as ensuring that the correct items are being brought to the line and systematically preventing them from bringing items that are not meant for a particular job or item. So it's really enabling that traceability, inventory accuracy that you and your customers expect. So tying this to the end is around the reconciliation. Since we're systematically tracking end-to-end inventory tracking from receipt to picking through consumption and production, we have a reconciliation process that the system knows what to expect to be left over. So this is doing a comparison against the physical count so that you can keep that high inventory accuracy and maintain that visibility that your team needs from planning and as well as your customer needs for product that you might be managing. And with this level of tracking, it allows for one quick recall. So this is an example with one of our customers, Coombe, that has accelerated the response time to potentially customer audits have come up around recalls or being able to quickly access this information in a much shorter time and have much more trust and granularity in the traceability. The next area I'm going to touch on is some capabilities that help reduce the direct labor costs and as well as improve line productivity. So starting with this is going to be looking at our full quoting module. So this is around leveraging the historical data so that you can make profitable estimates that help you identify some of these underperforming projects. So you'll also be able to manage all of your quotes within one place to be able to look at win-loss analysis and as well being able to tie these expected costs to the actual costs on the production floor. So it's really providing that full level of visibility from what's quoted to what's actually occurring on the line. Now within labor, on the production line, now that you've set up from the quoting of how many people you expect to work on the line, this is also managing as it's occurring real time. So seeing projects that are performing above or below standard and tracking the productive time of labor that's on the line. So we've seen numerous customers, including MSL, that have had an increase in their labor profit margins from this part of the business, from leveraging the quoting and labor tracking capabilities within Nulogy solutions. We also enable this real-time productivity around seeing what the true performance is on their line across one or multiple lines, being able to capture downtime for whether it's quality issues or material shortages that are occurring, to being able to see that total line efficiency. So this is really about identifying those problem points as they occur so you can make the adjustments on the fly and be able to improve that line productivity. So another example use case from a customer, Novapac, who's seeing improvement in productivity by 10 to 15%. The other area is around scalability and customer service. So this is around helping enable you to grow and scale your businesses and the capabilities that help you do that. Now that we've walked through the inventory control capabilities that we have from all the movements that's occurring on the shop floor, this ties into the material planning that allows you to quickly identify and order against future material deficits So this is where being able to predict, okay, you might be running out of a particular item by a certain date, and this is giving planners that visibility so that they can make these purchase orders. And this is in a couple of scenarios that you might be ordering on behalf of your customers, or as well you're ordering your own material. So managing it for both of these processes, and it's really a lot of the value that we've seen is a reduction in this material waste and material write-off, where you might be ordering too much material, or as well you might not be ordering the material at the right time, so that you have to expedite orders. So we've seen a lot of reductions in costs in both areas, and this is one example that a customer, Menasha, that has had for their customer Unilever by utilizing these capabilities. Another area is around production scheduling. With the nature of co-pack and constant changes in demand and being able to be as agile as possible, this is giving you that flexibility to make changes to projects that come in, and being able to reprioritize this and being able to do this in speed and with confidence, because you already have all the data that's connected. So this providing the planning capabilities to be able to meet these needs and make scheduling changes on the fly. And with all of this, there's vast amounts of reports that you can use to update your customers around where their inventory is at or what the status is on certain projects. So configurable reporting across that can be shared within your customer base to be able to help improve that customer service. And as well, if you have your own BI tools, to be able to leverage that data and leverage the API to be able to combine more reports together and kind of visualize a lot of that data. Now, a growing trend that we've been seeing is if you're not doing it today, a lot of co-pack's customers are requiring integrations to their ERP systems. And with this, a lot of the reasons comes from that you might be managing their inventory and need to provide that full visibility and traceability. So we've been trusted by numerous brands around integrating to various ERP systems and providing that full inventory visibility. So that's from what's received, what's consumed, what's produced, what's shipped out, and being able to show them each step of the process. So at any point in time, they have an accurate view to where their inventory is at. And also it helps you grow with your customer base, as we've seen this as being a growing need. Now, the next area is around digitalizing the quality inspection, so reducing the time it takes for quality inspections, and as well as increasing compliance. So this is around being able to have the necessary capabilities for any regulated requirements you have, whether GMP requirements for regulated products. Now, first, this is around with our enhanced quality solution that all of the digital checks can be custom created for checks that you have internally within your warehouse or that are specific to the customers. So that on the shop floor, the quality team has systemized checks that they're using to be able to capture photos or electronic signatures or weights or sign-offs on various checks throughout the production process, or even if throughout receiving or shipping. And as a manager, you'll be able to view into the dashboards of all the inspections that are occurring and have everything stored in a centralized place. And we've seen, so one of our customers, Marsden Packaging, has seen a large reduction in time it takes to complete these quality inspections. This is a co-packer based out of the UK. We've also seen a growing trend of some of these needs and capabilities to be able to meet compliance requirements. This is around audit trails on changes to bill of materials or productions, to have electronic signatures on sign-off by particular user types throughout the application, whether it's to approve of a quality check or to sign off on an inventory adjustment, as well as electronic batch records for any production batch records that are needed for regulated products. So that provides an overview of our solution and the types of customers that we serve and our dedicated focus to really the co-pack operations. So both Josephine and I now open up the line for any questions that anyone has.
Great, thank you, Scott.
Super, thank you very much. Let's see if there are any questions from the delegates, from you guys. Now is your chance.
Yes, this is Erwin van Os. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I have a question. The assistance to support in Europe, how is it managed at the moment from Nulogy?
Could you repeat the first part of the question, Erwin, please?
Oh, sorry, no problem. The support when there are problems in the program, how is the support managed from Nulogy?
So we have 24/7 support since we serve customers globally across the world. If there's urgent requests from that, we have a dedicated support team that works with our global customer base. And then as well, as we mentioned at the beginning of the call, Josephine and I are opening an office in UK to really work closely with all of our European co-packers around just engaging it on other activities as well.
In addition, we have a customer success organization, and when a customer comes on board with us, we assign them an ongoing customer success manager who is essentially their regular contact, any issues, questions that they need resolved or they need support.
Okay, great, thank you.
Scott, one question here from the VTPAC office. We are with a few people. Thanks for the presentation. You talk about the different modules. Is there a possibility also to start with, for example, one module and then build it up? Or do you need a standard platform and then different modules on top of it? How does it work?
Yep, no, it's a good question. So there's definitely different configurations of how you can utilize the solution. And I think the first part would be focusing on what are the business drivers and what are the particular needs for your co-packer. And maybe that's around end-to-end inventory control, and then the enhanced quality piece might be at a later phase. But each of these are modular and can be rolled out based on your particular needs.
Okay. And does the modules, do they have also a kind of an open API so that it can easily talk with different software as part of the, let's say, our own landscape?
Yeah, so for if you just to give an example for Nulogy, we typically integrate for a lot of some of our third-party logistics companies, integrate to their, if they have like a JDA WMS system, that's one level of integration, or various accounting systems. But the API I mentioned on one of the slides, that's around for if you're looking into analytics and BI tools. So we have a full service integrations team that helps manage any integrations to additional systems that need to be connected.
Okay. And the stock part, the stock module, does that work in cooperation with your WMS system, or could you potentially remove your own WMS system?
Yeah, well, I guess the question would be like, are you doing activities that are like typically warehousing activities, or is it typically mostly co-pack business? So within co-packer's workflow, we've had our system used end to end. Now, within an example like a third-party logistics company who has a large distribution center, we would be integrating and connecting to the WMS system for that part of the business, and then we would be managing inventory for where the co-pack activities and maybe managing packaging materials. So it depends on the profile of the customer, but both cases could be used.
Okay, so but imagine that we are co-packer. We do have our own WMS system in a few of the plants. Yeah, how would that look? Is there what would be the role that you say you replace your WMS system ideally and roll it out over all the places with Nulogy, or you have a hybrid, or keep the WMS system we have and not using your part of it, but then you need to talk about connectivity.
Yeah, we would want to obviously take the time to understand your specific needs. Now, for a lot of co-packers worldwide who their primary business is co-packing, and that's what you're doing within those facilities, a lot of the times we're using our inventory control module for end-to-end. So I think it would just be first understanding the needs and how you're using it, and whether it would make sense to utilize the inventory control solution for which parts of the operation. But traditionally for a lot of co-packers, they'd be utilizing the full inventory control solution.
Okay. Does your system also run already at the reference in the Netherlands?
Yes, we have customers in the Netherlands. We've got a few. I think one of the ones we mentioned in this presentation, Coombe also has a few sites in the Netherlands.
Also in the Veghel location?
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Can you repeat it?
Also in the Veghel location. So in other words, if we talk to Egil and the Waldbomers, he can be your reference?
With Coombe, I'd have to double check that, but we certainly have reference materials up on our site about them that are approved. But let me double check if I can connect you with somebody there.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think from here there were the questions. If I look around in the room.
Yeah, one question. Is there a possibility we can look into a sort of example of your system? A dummy. a sort of dummy. So we can see how.
The line's a little hard to hear.
Yes, is there a possibility that we can look into a sort of dummy application of Nulogy? So we can see how you build up your bill of material and that kind of items.
Oh, you would want to see a more in-depth view of the solution and how it'd be used?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that is definitely something Josephine and we can definitely connect afterwards on looking into that in greater detail.
Yes,
so
not
free.
For today. Sorry, not for today, but maybe in the future that we can that we can arrange that. All right. Thank you. That it was, yes.
So, any more questions from you or not?
Hello, my name is Walter. Thanks for the presentation. I have a question. I think the application is written and communicating in English. Are other languages available?
Yes, we're available in 6 languages and counting. It might even be more than that now, including Dutch, French, German, English, Spanish, various others.
Yeah, we built the infrastructure for now, like onboarding new languages is a very fast process if we're looking to as we expand that portfolio.
But is it available in Dutch?
Yes.
Thank you.
Super. Yeah, thank you very much. And I know that Nulogy will be glad to hear from you. If you have any questions, be happy to answer them after the call as well and have a one-to-one conversation. So thank you very much from my side, from the European Co-Packers Association side for making the time today and the effort for the presentation. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I have recorded that session so that you will receive it afterwards. Okay, so I can say have a great day and hope to speak to you soon.
Many thanks, Gordana. We really appreciated you setting this up today.
Perfect. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.